All right, y'all. So today we are going to be testing the soil on my cabbage beds. The reason why I'm making this video is because I have been noticing a lot of yellowing of the leaves. So I have the feeling that my cabbages are missing some kind of nutrients, and it's probably due to overcrowding. I know that is something that could be a possibility because some of my beds, well, one of my beds, all of my beds actually, have too many cabbage plants. So I understand that. But I also have this lonesome cabbage. Its leaf has been falling out as well, and it's by itself. So I'm trying to rule out if it is because of overcrowding. Right now, I am afraid to move the cabbages because of the stage that they're at right now. And I'm just afraid that I'm going to be damaging their roots. So that is the reason why I decided not to move the cabbages and put them in their own separate bed. So I bought this soil tester. It's a 7-in-1 soil tester. It's supposed to test the air humidity, the air temperature, the soil temperature, environment light, the soil moisture, the soil pH, and the soil fertility. The only readings that I'm interested in today is going to be the soil pH, the fertility, the moisture, and these are the only readings that I am interested in. So we're going to go ahead and test the soil on the two beds. I've never used this meter before. This is my first time, so we going to see what we get out of it. I don't know if any of y'all have the same thing. If you guys have this meter, let me know in the comments below. Let me know if it's a good brand, if it's good quality. But this is my first time using it, and we're gonna try to test out the soil. All right, so let me just read the direction here. It says to, let's see, I'm looking at the direction, y'all. So these are like the different switches, right? So you can, I don't know if you all can see. Hold on one second. Okay, so it has the light, the moisture, fertility, the pH, and the temperature as well as the humidity. All right, and these are like the different controls. The first control, which is where it's at right now, it's going to be testing the temperature and also the humidity. And then when you're sticking it in the ground, you want to insert the soil meter probe into the soil at least 3 inches, so about index finger length. You don't want to force it. And if you feel resistant, try another position. So let's go ahead and stick it in the soil. It says about 3 inches. I guess this would be about 3 inches. I don't know if you all could see. Hope you all can see. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to be reading will be the temperature as well as the humidity. So right now it says that the temperature is 48 degrees, or the soil temperature, I should say, is about 47 degrees Fahrenheit. And you see that it's moving. And then the humidity is 58%. So that is the first reading, okay? I don't know what the humidity, I don't know if it's good or bad, but it's 50, well, it's 59% right now. All right, so now we're gonna take it out of the soil. And the next thing we're gonna be testing will be the pH. So I'm gonna move it to the second lever, right? And we're gonna be testing the soil pH. Now the pH is gonna be the second to last bar. Yeah, the second to last bar is gonna be the soil pH. Can you guys see this? So we have alkaline and then acidic. Now for cabbages, they thrive best in slightly acidic to neutral soil. So the ideal pH range should be between 6.0 to 7.5. So we're going to go ahead and test the current pH of the soil. So we're going to stick it back in and then see how we do there. Can you guys see this? So we said that the ideal pH range should be between 6.0 to 7.5. Right now, I think it's at a 7.5. Yeah, I think that's where we're at. We're at a 7. Whoops. We're at a 7.5 or we're at a 7.5. So we might be a little on the alkaline side. I don't know. But if it is too alkaline, we can add sulfur or organic matter like pine needles or peat moss. I have a lot of pine needles around my garden. So I'm going to take some and I'm just going to cover the top of the soil with some. All right, so now we're going to take it back out. And the next thing we're going to be measuring will be the soil fertility. So I'm going to just move it to that lever. So for soil fertility, that's the ability for the soil to provide like the essential nutrients and water for healthy plant growth. Okay. Now, for cabbages, they require rich, fertile soil with a high level of organic matter to thrive. So it needs its macronutrients, which are the NPK, so nitrogen, because they are heavy feeders. They need consistent supply of nitrogen to produce green leaves. And then for the phosphorus, they need that for strong root growth. And then potassium, they need that for disease resistance. Okay. It also needs its micronutrients, which are calcium for growth, magnesium for green leaves, and sulfur for disease resistance. So I just added it to the fertility lever. Okay. And I'm going to stick it back in the soil. Now, oh, hold on. Before I do that, the fertility lever is gonna be the last bar. Okay, so it says it starts off with little to much. So if you are in the yellow, it's not enough fertility, and if you're in the red, you have too much fertility, and sometimes that could be a bad thing. So let's go ahead and stick it back in the soil. And we're going to be looking at the fertility. Ooh, okay. Can y'all see that? Let me see if I can put you down even more. So for fertility, we have little fertility. Okay, so that means it's missing some of those key nutrients. Now, I did look online and I read that you can make this magnesium water. So add like Epsom salt in the water, and that's going to provide magnesium to your crops. So I'm going to do that because I am missing nutrients, and I'm not surprised. I mean, I never really applied any fertilizer to the soil, so I'm not surprised that I'm missing some nutrients. So we're going to look into that. I'm going to look into that further, and I will have videos in the future on what I'm doing to ensure that my cabbages are receiving the proper nutrients that they need. All right. And then the next thing that we're going to be testing is going to be the moisture. Whoops. So we're going to be testing the moisture. So I'm going to put it to the moisture lever. Now, for soil moisture, cabbages do thrive best in soil that maintains consistent moisture levels because they are shallow root. So they require regular water to develop properly. The soil has to be evenly moist but not waterlogged. A good target is to keep the soil at about 50 to 70% of its water holding capacity. So it's going to be similar to the consistency of a ring or wrung out sponge. They need about 1 to 1.5 inches of water per week. We did get some rain this week, so therefore I would not be surprised if, we're at the right moisture level. It rained, I think, about 3 days this week, and it rained heavily. So the soil is still pretty damp, but I am just curious to see what the reading says. So we have it at the moist reading, and then I'm gonna stick it back in the soil. Okay, so it's saying that it's dry. I don't know if this is accurate. I'm going to go ahead. It did come with batteries. It has batteries in it right now, but I'm going to go ahead and change the batteries and try these readings again to see if it makes a difference. Maybe it's the battery. I don't know. But let me go ahead and see if that does make a difference. All right, so I just got done changing the batteries, and we're going to just do a quick run back, testing the pH, the fertility, and the moisture levels. So I put it on, I'm going to put it on the, I don't know if you guys can see. So I'm putting it on the pH level. Before, the reading was saying that the pH was at around 7.5. It's showing that it's beyond alkaline. Oh my goodness. Like it's like past the chart. And then if I put it at the fertility, let me do another spot. I don't know if you guys can see this. Okay, so for fertility, it's saying that it has little, it's missing nutrients. Let's do, let me do the pH one more time. So I put it back to the pH. Oh, okay. Now I'm getting a different reading for the pH. See, now I don't even know how reliable this is. Before it was showing that it's too alkaline. Now it's around 6.8 for the soil pH. I did insert it in a different spot. So I don't know if that's the case, if that's the reason why the reading is different this time around. But yeah, so it looks like we are where we should be for as far as the pH is concerned. I'm going to take it back out. We're going to put it in the moisture level. So I did mention that we had rain all this week. So let's see what the moisture reading is saying. Let me put it on a different spot and see if I get a different reading. Okay, there we go. All right, so for moisture, we are at moist. Okay, see, now it's reading correctly because I did move it to a different spot. So we know that the moisture level is good. We know that the pH of the soil is good. It's the fertility that I need to take care of. All right, so this is for one of my cabbage beds. Let's go ahead and do the other cabbage bed. All right, so for this cabbage bed, I'm gonna stick the meter back in the soil, and well, let's first set it. We're gonna be testing I don't really care too much for the temperature or the humidity. We're gonna be testing for the pH. So I moved it to the pH lever, and I'm gonna stick it in. All right, so for the soil's pH, so this bed looks like it's right at 6. Now, if we need to raise the pH of the soil, if it's too acidic, well, this wouldn't be too acidic. Yeah, it wouldn't be too acidic. So I think we're right on the money. All right, now let's test the fertility. So I'm gonna switch it to that. I just switched it to the fertility. I'm gonna go ahead and stick it back in. See what it says. Yeah, I'm not surprised of that reading. So for fertility, we need to add nutrients. It doesn't have any nutrients, very little nutrients. So we're gonna be taking care of the nutrients. Let's go ahead and test out the moisture. Whoops. Okay, so for soil moisture, we're right on the money. So we are moist enough. All right. So I know now that my cabbage beds are missing nutrients, and I'm going to need to work on that. So be on the lookout for videos in the future and what I do, how I care for them. If you found this video helpful, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Don't forget to check out my previous videos, and I will see you all in the next one.